products that I have completely finished, like queen of project pan, okay? And I wanted to share those products with you, as well as let you know whether or not I will repurchase them. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. Now, the first one is from a relatively problematic brand, and that is Hourglass, and this is their Vanish Concealer. I have it in the shade Teak, and I have used this up. Here is the doe foot applicator. What I like is that it's a fairly flexible applicator, and that was nice for putting concealer like under the eyes and things like that. It's on the fuller end in terms of the type of coverage. I found that this would go on really smoothly. It blended out really well, wasn't very drying, gave me great coverage. So I really, really enjoyed this concealer. Now, my issue is that Hourglass for so long just kind of like outright refused to provide shades in deeper tones or deeper shades for like ever. And consumers were asking for a really long time, and they were just like, nope. And then they okey-doked us by showing us some stuff that looked like it would work on deeper skin tones. And then we come to find out they was playing with us. So, like, the thing is, they have some pretty good products. Like this, I think, is one of 3 things I've ever tried from the brand. And like, it's unfortunate that they play all these shenanigans. So for now, I'm not going to repurchase it. I mean, mind you, I have lots of other concealers I need to get through, but I'm kind of disappointed because I did really like it, but I'm feeling some kind of way about Hourglass, so I'm not going to currently repurchase this concealer. Another brand that I feel some kind of way about, but I keep giving chances, so I don't know what that is about. Like, I already had my therapy today about an hour ago, so maybe next week we'll process what goes on for me in these decisions. But that is Tarte Cosmetics, and the thing that I finished from them is their Shape Tape Primer Balm. And it's called the Shape Tape Pore and Prime Balm. So it's a primer in a balm form. This is the travel size. What I really like is that they seem to have a lot of products that are travel size. So they have like the full size and then the travel size. So you can try out stuff, which I can appreciate. So that's why I ended up trying this. And I really like this balm. I feel like it does smooth things out to allow for my foundation to go on really smoothly. I think it did help with the longevity in terms of my foundation staying on. It didn't cause any weird like cast or anything. And yeah, I like that it's kind of portable. You can just throw it in your bag if you need to. And that it just mattified everything. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if you can just like take a bit and just dab it on over your foundation if you want to like tone down some of the shine. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try that. So even though I continue to be ambivalent about this brand just because of their history of shenanigans around like shade range and stuff, but for some reason I feel like maybe sometimes they try just like a little bit, and so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna still give you the side eye chart, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up because I like it. So in terms of whether or not I will repurchase this, I actually am already using my backup, and this is again the Pore and Prime Balm, and it's the travel size, and I'm making my way through this. Now, as to whether I will repurchase after I'm done with this, I don't know. I'm not quite sure, because I do kind of like it. But it's like one of those things where it's like, do I want to give you a shot, or do I just want to like walk away? I don't know yet. Let me know what you think. If I do decide to repurchase, I might purchase the regular size rather than the travel size, because if I can go through 2 of the travel sizes, then I'm pretty sure I can go through the full size. Interesting thing is I like this balm, but I did not enjoy the Tatcha Silk Canvas, the original one. Like, it just didn't wow me. I do like the liquid silk canvas. That's somewhere. Oh, here it is. I do like the liquid silk canvas. And I've heard people say that for folks who have oilier skin, they prefer the liquid over the balm one. But I just thought that was interesting that I like the Tarte one and not the Tatcha one. Okay. So next product, this is the one that I finished most recently, and that is the Danessa Myricks Power Bronzer in the shade Deep. I went ahead and cleaned the compartment out as well. Now, if you have used any Danessa Myricks products, you know that you need the tiniest dab, and you have more than enough product. That's like with everything I've ever tried from her. From the bronzer to the vision cream to the color fix. You just need like a little bit. Her products are so pigmented. Anyway, this is like the only bronzer I've been using for like a year or two. Is it 2 years? I don't know. Whenever she came out with it first. This is the only bronzer I've been using. It's a cream bronzer, and I had it in the shade Deep, which I believe is the deepest shade. And it's lasted quite some time. I did like this bronzer. I like the way it goes on. It's pretty smooth. It's easy to work with. I found that I could just tap my brush in and go ahead and use it to bronze up the areas of my face. In terms of will I repurchase this? Not right now. I won't repurchase it right now. And that is solely because I have 2 of her little contour palette-y things. I have Deep 2 and Deep 1. Let me show you the difference. I've already used them. This is Deep 1 and this is Deep 2. So you can see that there is some difference in the shades, Deep 1, Deep 2. Now, there's a bit less product in the contour than in the bronzer. So for the contour, there is 0.35 ounces, while in the bronzer, there is 0.49 ounces. So this took me forever to finish, so I'm guessing that these 2 are going to take me quite a while to finish as well. So I'm not planning to repurchase the bronzer just yet. I do like it. If you're deciding between the bronzer and the contour, I will say that the contour product has a more expansive shade range, while the bronzer, I want to say there's like a light, medium, and a deep, and this deep is like deep. Okay, so if you're darker than me, you can use this still because it is dark. I have to go in with a light hand or else it's just gonna look quite interesting. But if you want more variety, I would say go with the contour one. Now, this next product is the Pat McGrath Under Eye Setting Powder, and the one that I finished is in the yellow shade. I have yellow and brown, or is it deep? I don't know. It's brown. And I really enjoyed this under eye setting powder. The yellow one, I have seen quite a variety of skin tones use it, and I can really appreciate that. It definitely offers a bit of brightening. And I actually, when I use this powder, I use it to set my under eye concealer, but I also use it to set my concealer in other places. So if I have concealer kind of in the T-zone, I will use this to set it. Either I will use sort of like a flat kind of fluffy brush like this, or I will use something like my Beauty Blender sponge and just tap into it and then tap it onto the areas that I want to set. I really like this. I find that it smooths everything out, makes it look pretty seamless, doesn't crease. Yeah, I like this powder. I feel like this is what I'm going to use forever and ever to set my under eyes. In terms of whether or not I will repurchase it, well, I already have another one. And this is actually the brown one. And I am hitting pan on that already. So yes, I really like this powder. I will continue to purchase it. What I do not know is if I will get the brown one or the yellow one in terms of purchasing it once I'm done with this one. I don't know, because I feel like I like both for different reasons. The brown one, or deep, whatever it's called, like, it's just perfect, right? But then if I want a little bit of brightness, the yellow one is perfection. So I don't know which one I want to repurchase. What gives me a little bit of solace is that last year, the most important lesson that I learned was that Dame Patricia McGrath has a sale just about every other day. So there's a possibility I could get both of these, because I'm going to just wait for a sale. She's probably having a sale right now as I speak. So yeah, let me know which one you think I should get first, because I'll probably get the other one in the next sale she has. Okay. Now, the last thing is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. And this is in the shade 4 that I finished. 4 is currently the deepest shade that she has in the powder. So there are 4 shades. And I think number 4 came out like 1 or 2 years ago. And I like snatched it up immediately. What I like about this powder is it's a great finishing powder. You can use it with a fluffy brush, you can use it with a powder puff or sponge, and it really does give that sort of last finishing touch to your makeup. And in terms of will I repurchase it, well, I'm currently working on finishing up shade 3. Got pan in it already. I know. I'm just like, I'm amazing. Anyway, so yes, I, again, similar to the Pat McGrath under eye setting powder, I can find a place for both the number 3 and the number 4. For a while with the number 4, like, you only need a little bit of the powder, and I don't know if I had used too much, but there was, at some points, I would get a bit of like a grayish cast. Let me know if you experienced that, if you used the deeper shade. But the more I used it, I don't know, maybe I got my life together and the powder reflected that, because it wasn't giving that gray cast anymore. Anyway, I'm not quite sure which one I will repurchase. Now, she could come down, guess what I'm gonna say, like $5 or $10 on these powders. They do last quite some time though, so I'll give you that. If you're going to purchase the powder, I would say get the regular size. There is like a travel size, but honestly, it's like the size of a quarter. It's like, it's smaller than this Tarte thing, I think, or maybe it's about the same size, and it's like $25. Like, you might as well just go ahead and add another 20 and get the regular big old size, right? So yeah, I'm not quite sure which one I will repurchase, number 3 or number 4, but I will repurchase it. So basically, everything that I finished, I'm already working on like the backup or like the a different iteration of the product, like the Danessa Myricks. I'm working on the contour rather than the bronzer. The only one that I am not planning on repurchasing anytime soon is this Hourglass concealer. So let me know your progress on hitting pan or on finishing things up. Also, let me know your opinion on if I should get the deeper shade or the lighter shade for the Pat McGrath and the Charlotte Tilbury. And yeah, I think that's it. So hopefully some of this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.